What's up, guys? My name is Alan, and welcome to my channel, Alan Architectural. So, in the previous episode, in episode 9, we were able to have a little bit of contour in our design. We had to now place in some curtain walls, and we had to do the whole lot of cut and pull and cut process in episode 9. We are pretty much just going to do the same thing, but with this time we are going to advance a little. We are going to add more doors and make our design come out a little bit realistic this time. So without wasting much time, I'm going to get started now. Now I'm currently on the ground floor. As you can see, I'm heading into the 3D view so you guys can have a feel of what we did. So this, what I'm just doing right now is just holding down the shift key and holding down the scroll button. So when you hold down the scroll button and you hold down the shift key, then you can pivot around a certain point. All right, you can just pivot around a one point, but when you just hold down the shift key, you can move it sideways. All right, this is a beginner's program, so I'm assuming you guys don't know this. Now most people I see, they usually just use their mouse pointer to hold this and then move this down. I'm like, whoa, you can just hold down the shift key and then hold on the scroll button and you can do all that. So now what you can do now is, let's head back into the ground floor plan quickly. We are back in the ground floor plan, so we are going to create more curtain walls in our design. So the same procedure, we just have to go into walls, and then we can just find our previous wall that we did, which was this wall, the curtain wall that we created. So we are going to create more walls in there. Just make it about 7 meters. All right, exactly 7 meters. You can make it exactly 7 meters, and then you can just click on that curtain wall right there, and then click on this arrow to move it to that surface right there, and then you can just go into your architecture tab. You can just go into the modify tab, and then you find your cut tool, and then you just click on the wall first, and then you click on that curtain wall, and it cuts it out of there. Let's head into the 3D view to see what we've done. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we have that in there, and with this time we don't want our curtain wall to move all the way up to that point. All right, this time we want our curtain wall to just be on. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, now just control Z to get out of there, to snap out of there and get back into the ground floor plan. So we have that curtain wall created at the back. I was currently at the front. All right, so I'd have to go to the back, and then this is where I created that curtain wall. All right, so I had to control Z to undo that, because we notice we locked in our curtain wall. So when we drag this down, it automatically drags with the other one, because we locked it with that that symbol that looks like a padlock. All right, we locked it in with that symbol, so we would have to work on this one. So this time we want our curtain wall to remain on the mezzanine floor. We don't want it to go into the mezzanine floor, because we just start ground floor over there. That place is going to be like a restaurant. So I'm going to go into the north elevation, where I can see that I'll have to get into the south elevation. So I'm going to get into the south elevation quickly. So that is that curtain wall right there we created. So we want to drag it down a little bit, not too high. We want to drag it down a little bit. Let's check the height of that. Let's check the height, what we have in there. So we are just going to measure, and just get your measure tool again. Just click on it and measure that. Pull it to the other side, and you can just click on it. Now just click on that curtain wall, and let's make that cancel it out of there. Click on the curtain wall and just change the dimension. Let's just change the dimension out of there. All right, let's just make it about, cancel it out of there. Now you can delete this dimension tool out of the way, and just get a line tool. So DL, make sure you get a line tool, and then you can draw this about 3 meters. All right, just about 3 meters, and then you can just hit on your align tool on your keyboard. You can click on this align tool and just align that to that, and it aligns to that. So we have exactly 3 meters of this curtain wall over there. All right, now let's get back into our 3D view. So we have 3 meters of that over there as well. Now one more thing we can do is we can get this into a shaded view. So you have to click on this box right there, the visual style. When you click on that, you can just make sure you select shaded, and then we can see we are having a little bit of rendering appearing or showing up in our design. All right, we have a little bit of render in our design, which is beautiful. So now we would want to go back into the ground floor plan. We can go back into the ground floor plan, and we are going to create some more curtain walls before we start placing in our doors in the other spaces. All right, so we can start from here. So you can leave just about 300 mm, and let's bring that to this side as well. Now make sure you cut it as well. Go, so just head into the modify tab, and then you get your cut tool, which is right here. You can click on the wall, and then you click on the curtain wall as well, and we have that in there as well. We have that, it's showing in there. As you can see, it's inside the building. All right, it's inside that building. So what we can do to adjust it to exactly these 3 meters is by aligning it to that. So we can just find a way to gauge, just find a way to position your building in a way where you can align, or you can just cut a section and do that job. So we can just hit on the align tool, which is this, or AL, and then we align this, and you notice I've selected the one that is inside. All right, to align with this outer one. All right, the exact 3 meters. So it's going to align with that, and you notice it's aligned in there as well to exactly 3 meters. So I'm back in the ground floor plan. I'm back in the ground floor plan, and we're going to continue off from wherever we left off. So now we're going to place in more doors in our design. I want us to place in more doors in our design, and then let's head into the first floor. Let's look at what we have in there. All right, so we would have to place in more doors also in the first floor as well. We haven't really touched anything on the first floor, so we are just working on the ground floor and all that. So let's get back into our ground floor plan. Let's place in more doors. So let's head into the architecture tab, and then let's go into insert. All right, insert tool. Now the insert tool is where you can link in a Revit file, you can link a card file, you can import your card files as well, and where you can link PDFs into the software as well, and also import images. All right, anything you want to insert into the software, or you want to bring it in the software, you would have to go into the insert tab. All right, so we just go into our load family. We go into our load family. Like I said in the previous videos, you would have to make sure you are not working in the imperial families. All right, it's the metric system you are working in. So make sure you go back, hit on that folder right there to go back, and then you select the English. All right, select the English. So when you select the English, you make sure you find doors. We have doors in there. I'm going to go into residential doors. Let me see what they have in there for me. I'm just going into the residential doors, and they have some nice doors, but I'm not going to use any of that. That's not the kind of door I need. Let's head into the commercial as well. Okay, so I'm going to use this door. Right, I'm going to use this door for a start. For starters, I'm going to use this door. So I'm going to take in this door. I'm going to load it into the farm, into the software, and you can select any height you want. You can just select any of them, or you can load in all the heights. All right, but I'm just going to select any of them. I'm just going to take the 900 by 100 millimeters, 900 by 2100 millimeters. That's the standard door height, door dimension we use here in Ghana and in Africa. I don't know about other countries. So that's the standard door height and width we use. So I'm going to load that door into the software. So it's loaded it up into the software. All right, so now the only way you can have that door is to go into your architecture tab. When you head into the architecture tab, you can just click on door right there, and then you have that door loaded up into the software. It's just right in there. All right, so you can click on it and make sure you head into the edit type. I'd want us to duplicate it. All right, so we are going to duplicate this. We are going to call this our door type 1. We are going to call this door type 1, and the function, let's change the function to interior. It doesn't really do anything, I don't know, so you can change it to interior if you want. And we have a width of 900 by 200, which is standard, exactly what we need. So we're going to click on OK, And we are going to place that door right here. Right, we are going to place that door right here. So this place is just a store. We are going to place it in this space right here. And we are going to place one more in this space also as well. We're going to place one more in this space. Now just change the opening. Just click on that door and change the opening. Let it open in there like that. And then leave a space about 500. Leave a space about 500 in there. 500 in there. And let's just hit on that door and create similar. CS on your keyboard. And you can keep this door. Let's leave the same 500, alright? Just leave the same 500 in there. The same 500 in there as well. And we'd have to place in more doors in our design as well. We'll have to give it more doors in the design, but this time we're going to need a double door. All right, we're going to need a double door for that, so we would have to load in another type of door. So the same procedure, we have to go into the insert tab. When you head into the insert tab, just go into load family. So when you head into load family, let's use this door. All right, this M door passage double flash. So we are going to use that door. We are going to load it into the software, and we are just going to get a dimension for it. So we are going to use the 1 by 18,000 by 2100 mm. Make sure you load that one into the software. So it's loaded up into the software. We have to go into the architecture tab, find our door, and then we are going to place that door in there. All right, so leave about just 500, the same 500, just leave about 500. All right, it's not any standard dimension which you need to know or have an idea of. Just leave about 500 in there, and the same 500 on this side as well. And we'll have to place in the same kind of door in here as well. So we have to place in the same kind of door in here, but this time make sure you center the door over there as well. Make sure you center that door. All right, make sure you find the center and place it in there. So you have to check the dimensions, make sure they are the same, then you place that door in there. And you can pretty much just do the same thing for this door as well. Make sure it's centered, and then you place it in there. We have 1503 over there, so we can place it in there as well. So that door is centered in that space. We have that door centered in there, and we would want to place the same kind of double door over here as well. The same kind of double door, the same 500 double door here. And we want to place one more over here as well, one more of that same kind of door over there. These places are going to have curtain walls, so we are not really bothered about that. So that places are going to have some curtain walls in there. So now let's head into the mezzanine floor. Let's see what we have. This same kind of doors are also going to go into the mezzanine. All right, so let's head into our mezzanine floor. So you can see, so just I've turned on my underlay, which is showing the ground floor. As you can see in the properties panel, we have my underlay showing the ground floor, and I can see all my items on the ground floor. So I'm just going to pretty much select the same kind of doors and then put those same doors on the mezzanine floor. So select it. It's not really existing on the mezzanine floor. As you can see, you think it's existing here. When I turn off the underlay to none, you are not going to see that door over there, but you notice you are going to see this door because I created it and placed it there as well. So what we want to do is to turn on our underlay. Let's turn on the underlay. Let's make sure it's showing the ground floor. So we have that door in there, and then we are going to want to place that same door, this same kind of door in this space. All right, we want to place that same door. So these places are going to be stores. We would have to keep this same kind of door in there. So let's just place this same kind of double door. All right, this place is staff common room, so let's place the same kind of double door in there. And this place is also a general office, so we are going to place that same door. Let's leave the same 500. Let's put that door on this side. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just hitting on the door on the ground floor, and then I hit on CS, and then it automatically activates that door for me to be able to place it on the mezzanine floor. All right, so I'm going to place the same door also here. So you notice I'm just making sure it's aligned exactly to that same position of the door down there as well. So it's aligned exactly to that same door down there. Perfect. And we have to make sure we center those doors, all right? Make sure those doors are centered exactly centered, all right? So let me delete it out of there to make sure I center those doors, all right? Control Z, select that door, DE, and then I'm going to select it again, CS, all right? So I'm going to make sure this door is centered exactly to that door beneath, all right? All right, guys. So it's exactly with that door below there. So we have that door created in there as well. This spaces we are going to use a lot of curtain walls over here. We have not pretty much decided on what we are going to put in here. So we are going to load in more doors. Let's go into the insert tab and get into the load family. And when we head into the load family, we will want to place one more door. All right. So we are going to use this door. We are going to load in this door actually. Let's find the same 900 by 2100. Let's load in. This is it. So just select it and hit on OK on your keyboard. So that door is loaded in. Let's head into the architecture tab, get into our door, and you can see that door right there. So we are going to go into the edit type. We have to make sure we duplicate, all right? We might come back and need that door. So let's call this door type. Let's call this door type 1. It's the same door type 1 of that family. Okay, so let's call this washroom 1. All right, let's call this W1 and let's hit on OK. So we are going to place those doors in here. Those doors are going to come in here, all right? They are going to come in here, and then we are going to place one more in here as well, and one more is going to go on this side as well. Make sure it's centered, guys. So it's going to be the same thing. Hit on the space bar to turn the opening to the wall, all right? Make sure it turns to the wall outside. Make sure it's centered as well. Hit on the space bar and then you click it right there, and then you have to place one more door here, all right? Make sure you place one more door here. So just leave our 200 mm away from that wall. Let's see the space we left away from that wall. We left 100. All right, then let's leave the same 100 on the other side as well. So we're going to leave the same 100 on the other side as well. Hit on OK. So we have the same 100 on the other side. We've created these doors in here. We would have to use this same door, all right? We are going to use this same door. We are going to place it in here as well. And then we're going to place one more door in here. So make sure the opening opens to the wall outside over there. And then you have to place one more here as well. Make sure it opens to the other side as well. And we just have to leave about 100 mm also. Now I would want us to stretch this wall a little bit. Let's stretch it a little bit. All right, let's just stretch it a little bit. So we've stretched that over there. We've stretched it a little bit. All right, so we are good to go now. So we are gonna start off. We stretch that wall a little bit. So I guess we'd have to do the same thing to our other design as well. We would have to stretch them up a little bit. All right, we would have to stretch them. I'm just thinking of what we can do over here as well. Okay, guys, now you can just turn off your underlay. All right, you can just turn off that underlay right there. You can put it on none and turn it off right there. Make sure it's on fine. Let's see what we have. Beautiful. So we have those walls in there as well. So now what we can do also is that what we can do, you can see we have the concrete hatch showing in there. We can take it off anytime we want. But we'll work on that later. So what we can do now is also we have to place in the washroom the toilet seats for these spaces as well. So we would have to let's go into the ground floor, and you can see we have our wall. We can stretch that to join with that, and then we have to create those washroom. Hit on the space bar, the space key, the space bar key on your keyboard. So just move your mouse pointer, make sure it's in there, and then just hit on the space bar to get that also in that position. It's right in there as well. So we are good to go, guys, and we have to create this door as well. It's not on the ground floor, so just click on that, hit on CS on your keyboard, and then you place that door in there as well. So we are getting somewhere, guys, and definitely we have to create these doors as well. We have to create these doors, so just turn it and then place it in there, and this same door is going to go into this direction as well. So we have that in that direction as well. So just hit on the space bar and turn it, and then we come in this place, and we also hit it right there. Making sure it's fixed exactly to the one beneath as well. So we have those doors created in there. Beautiful. So now we can get on with our design. But I want us to place in the washroom the toilet seats for this space. So let's just get our dimension to, let's head into this washroom. Let's see the space we left in there. We left 1580. So we are going to do the same thing for this washroom. So we just click on our dimension to select this wall, and then we make sure you hit the tab key to select the wall inset, otherwise we won't be able to make changes. All right, so now when you hit the tab key, it's selecting the door, but now it's selecting the wall. All right, you can see on the description beneath the arrow. So I'm going to select that wall, and then I'm going to change this to 15,000. It was 15,000 what, it was 1580, I guess. I'll check that. 1580. So let me check that again. Let me check that once more. So 1580. So we have that in there. So it's exactly what we need. 1580. So delete that out of there, and then you have to do the same thing for this wall as well. So just make sure you hit on the tab key. To select the wall instead, and then make sure you select that wall, and then you can make that change. 1580. All right, 1580. We pull that up. It's up there. Delete that dimension 2 out of there. So now get back into the mezzanine floor. Just get back into the mezzanine floor, and we have to do the same thing for this floor as well. So what we are going to do is we are going to turn on our underlay, all right, to see the level below, to see on the ground floor. Right now we are on the mezzanine floor, and we want to see the ground floor. So we are going to turn this on. We are going to turn it on to the ground floor, and then what we are going to do now is we are going to move. All right, we are going to move this and make sure it's aligned with the one beneath, which is done. And we are going to select that wall, and then make sure you move it. All right, make sure you move it to align with the wall also down there. Beautiful. Now what we are going to do is we are going to place in the toilet seat. So I'm going to select this, hit on CS on my keyboard to create similar, and like what we did in the other episode. So just hit on the space bar, and then when you notice it changes to that angle, you can just click on it right there, and then you can just move this also. Make sure it's centered. All right, just center it in that space. So just click on this right there, click on this right there, and then you have to click on this right here as well. Now what you can do is just hold down the control key, select all those toilet seats over there, and then you can just mirror those toilet seats to the other side. All right, just mirror it to the other side. So we have that on the other side. So I'm going to turn off my underlay. I'm going to turn off my underlay on this screen right here. So I'm going to put it on none. My underlay is turned to none. I'm going to change that. I'm going to put it on course. All right, so my underlay is turned to none, and I'm going back into my ground floor plan. So I have that toilet seat over here, you can see. So I'm just going to select one, hit on CS on my keyboard. There are several ways we can get those toilet seats. We can copy, align to selected levels and all that, but let's just create similar and let's place it in there ourselves. I'd want us to go the hard way. All right, I heard Sarkodie say the easy way is the hardest way. So let's just use the easy way too much. So let's just use the hard way sometimes. So let's hold on the control key and let's multi-select all those toilet seats right there, and then you can just hit on that mirror to make sure you find the center of that wall and move the mouse pointer in the same 45 degrees angle, and then you notice it's mirrored. When you move it and you click, so when you notice it's mirrored in here, you just have to click on any space and you have those washrooms in your space as well. So we have those toilet seats in our space. Now what we want to do is let's turn off the underlay. It's annoying. Let's turn off the underlay. So we have that in there. So this space is going to be a conference room. Like I said, we have the janitor area in there, and we have the male and female washroom for guests, people visiting the washrooms. So let's get back into the mezzanine floor. We have that done in there. Let's head into the first floor. So we are currently in the first floor plan. We are going to start placing in our doors also for the first floor plan. Then we move into the mezzanine and the ground floor plan as well. So let's just place in the same kind of doors for our first floor plan. All right, let's place in some doors for our first floor plan. So what we want to do now is we'd want to head into the insert tab as well. We'd head into the load family, and these spaces are going to be the hotel rooms. So we'd want to place a more sealed door. We wouldn't want our rooms to be visible, right? So we'd want to place a door like this. Most people use the key card system for their doors. All right, so I think let's head into the residential. Let's see the kind of door they have in there. All right, so let's just use this door. Let's use this door for our design. So let's hit on OK. Make sure you load in the 900 by 2100. Make sure you find that exact dimension. If you don't find it, don't worry, we can equally make changes. So this is it, 900 by 2100. So we are going to load that door in. Make sure you save your project. Consistently hit on the Control S on your keyboard. All right, Control S to save your project. All right, so we are going to go back into our architecture tab, find our door, and that door is loaded in there. Let's hit on duplicate. Let's hit on room door 1. All right, so we duplicated, we named it a room door 1, and we have our width and our height exactly what we need, and we are going to place those doors in those spaces. All right, so I'm going to make sure they are centered. All right, they are centered in that space. You can choose to make the opening anything you want, all right, but you should make sure your door openings create some sort of privacy. All right, no one should just open the door and should be able to see you on your bed. It's just not right as an architect. So what you have to do now is you have to open, you can choose to place your door opening exactly how you want. I'm just placing in the doors in there, so I'm just clicking and placing those doors in there. All right, hitting on the space bar, placing in the same kind of door for this space as well. All right, so we want to do the same thing for this space, and we want to do the same thing for this space as well. And we will place a different door for this space. All right, so let's do the same thing, but before we do the same thing, we will notice we haven't placed that wall. We mirror this to the other side, so we haven't selected this wall. So just hit on this wall, CS, to create similar, and then just drag that wall to create that over there. So let's go back into our door tab and let's just place this door in there. All right, so with this door you can move it 500 away. All right, you can move it just 500 away. Okay, I would want to change my opening of this door. I want it to open this way. All right, so it's just 500 away, and we haven't placed for this side as well. So the same thing, just hit on create similar, just find any of the doors and just create similar. All right, I'm going to change the opening of that door. So I'm just going to select it and then hit on this arrow to change. All right. When you want it to open from the outside, you can hit on this one and it opens on the outside. You can hit on this, it opens on the inside. All right. So we want it to open on the inside. So we have that done. So we are going to create one more door. So let's get back into our insert tab. When we head into our insert tab, we go back into the load family. We want to place another kind of door in that space right there. We want to place another kind of door in that space. So we're going to use this door, right? So just load in the 18,000, 1,800 by the 2,100. Okay, you can just load that door in there. So get back into your architecture tab, click on door before you can be able to access that door right there. So leave about 300 mm away from that dot, and you do the same thing for this piece as well. 300, guys, just 300 away from that dot as well. So we are done placing in the doors, and we'd have to give the doors for the washrooms as well. Let's head into the 3D view. Let's see what we're getting into. Pretty much like how our design is coming out. All right. We haven't even gotten into the rendering process. We'll get into that process very soon. So let's go back into the ground floor plan. The first floor, all right. We would want to place in a door for our washroom, all right. I want us to use one of these doors in here, all right. Let's just use one of these doors. So just create similar, get into the first floor, all right. When you just create similar, you can just move into your first floor tab, and then you just leave about 200 and place that door in there. And you'd want to do the same thing for this side as well. Turn the opening, just leave about 200. Turn the opening, leave about 200 in there. Turn the opening, leave about 200 in there. Turn the opening, leave about 200 in there. So it's just the same procedure, guys. Make sure you pause the video and then you continue through by yourself. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just making sure my openings are opening and going closer to the wall. The only way I do that is by hitting on the space bar, alright? The space bar. This door is supposed to come on this direction. Alright, and then one more door for this side as well. 200, 200 is what we are doing. And then we'd want to do the same thing for this space as well. So this our door is on the right, it's on the wrong position, alright? Our doors are supposed to come all the way here. And then I'll turn that opening to the other side. So I think we are good to go, guys. So we have all our doors created in there. So with this part, we are going to place some sort of like a sliding door into the curtain wall. We are going to work on that in episode 11. So I'm going to select everything on the first floor and I'm going to filter, all right? When I filter, I'm going to select check none. And then I'm going to hit on only doors, all right? To select only the doors. I'm going to hit on OK. And you notice only the doors are being selected. So I'm going to hit on this copy tool, get into my paste, align to selected levels, and I want this to go to the second. Hold down the control key now to the third and also to the fourth as well. So I'm going to hit on OK, and Revit performs that magic right there. So let's get into the second floor. For starters, let's get into the second floor. Let's see if it has our doors in there. Beautiful. So it has our door in there, and you guys remember we didn't create that wall. We probably didn't see that. All right, so let's go back into the third as well. Let's head into the third. Where's our third floor? We have our third floor in there. So create similar, and let's move this to attach, and let's get back into the fourth, and then we're going to select this create similar, and let's move this to attach. All right, So we have all our doors in our spaces. All right, so we can see we are making some progress, guys. So we have our doors in the spaces in there. We have all of those doors in our spaces. All right, so we are getting somewhere with our design. We are getting somewhere, guys. So I'm going to pause here and we are going to continue in episode 11 of this tutorial. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in episode 11. Peace out.
I'm still working real hard on a Saturday. A future I don't see from a mile away.